Real superheroes don't wear spandex, and they don't have a lot of 3D special effects, but they do operate on a higher level, on a supernatural level, and they actually look and appeal to something greater than themselves, and then they do something superhuman. Yeah.
They did it, gang. The Sound of Freedom has officially surpassed $150 million at the box office with no signs of stopping. Despite all efforts by woke Hollywood and our liberal news media, the film has raked in 10 times its production costs, making it one of the most astonishing successes in box office history. And in the midst of its grassroots promotion, without question, the two most important figures promoting the film were Elon Musk and Mel Gibson. Musk took to Twitter back in June and offered the platform free of charge for the movie. I recommend putting it on this platform for free for a brief period or just asking people to subscribe to support. We would not keep any funds. Now, this was huge in terms of the film reaching Musk's tens of millions of followers on Twitter. It was an amazing promotion, matched only by Mel Gibson's video appeal.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Now, this tag team of Gibson and Musk proved to be absolutely huge in terms of getting the word out about the movie. In fact, we're getting reports that Gibson is preparing to release a groundbreaking 4-part documentary series that'll shed light on the hidden world of global child sex trafficking. According to Newsweek, this shocking revelation is expected to expose the industry's staggering annual revenue of $34 billion, which, if you can believe it, is an amount that surpasses the yearly earnings of the airline industry. Here's Tim Ballard of Operation Underground. He's the main character in The Sound of Freedom. He's one of the leading figures in the global fight against child trafficking, talking about Gibson's involvement in the project.
Ukraine. Got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. And he told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion. And he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine, and he was worried about them, and he asked if I could help get them out. So now I've got 12 from my wife. I got 13 others from Mel Gibson. And I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I got to get out. I told Mel, I said, you got to help me. This is going to be expensive. I won't ask you for direct donation, but can you help me film this? Let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was going to be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries that's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films and executive produced by Tony Robbins. That's how crazy it got and how prophetic my wife was. When I showed up in Ukraine with a list of, I think, 20 names, the Ukrainians countered me and gave me over 10,000 names of orphans that they didn't know where they were because of the chaos caused by war. And more importantly, and more frightening to me, was the fact that I know that human trafficking is a $32 billion a year business. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world, and I also know how kids get forced into that market. And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war.
Yeah, it's astonishing that Hollywood has been trying so desperately to cancel this movie. And we're seeing it in our own lives as well, aren't we? You all know of a very new and serious threat coming from woke corporations. It's called debanking, where woke banks are increasingly closing the accounts of patriots around the globe. And one of the most important areas of protest where patriots are deliberately taking their money out of these woke banks is in the massive buying spree going on currently with gold and silver. I mean, we saw this right after the Silicon Valley Bank collapse, where more and more investors began moving their money back to the timeless value of gold. And gang, we've got amazing friends to this channel who can help you do just that. We partnered with the top-rated precious metals company Goldco, who've helped patriots across the nation move over $1 billion into gold and silver. You heard that right. That's $1 billion with a B. They're absolutely amazing. Click on that link below. And for those with retirement accounts, the Patriots over at Goldco are offering up to $10,000 in free silver when opening up a qualified IRA account. And for cash buyers, you're going to love this. You can get bonus silver just for making purchases. So if you buy $15,000 worth of precious metals, you're going to get $750 in bonus silver. If you buy $25,000, you're going to get $1,200 worth of bonus silver. But that's only as long as supply lasts. So don't wait. Click on that link below. This is your opportunity to protect yourself from woke banks by guarding your assets with what patriots have invested in for centuries, the timeless value of gold and silver. So click on that link below right now. One of the Hollywood names that have come under renewed scrutiny as a result of this movie is none other than Oprah Winfrey. You may remember her $40 million gift to poor South African girls in what was called the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. It opened in 2007. It was replete with a yoga studio, beauty salon. In literally just a matter of months after opening, the dorm matron was arrested and accused of sexually abusing at least a half a dozen 7th and 8th graders. Now, of course, Oprah threw the dorm matron under the bus. She accused the school administration of covering up the issue and that she would seek full justice and all that. But then a couple of years later, several girls were expelled after accusations that they tried to force other students into sexual relationships. And then the original charges against that dorm matron began to unravel. And she was acquitted by the jury because the girls' testimonies were self-contradictory and not credible. And then the dorm matron turned around and sued Oprah Winfrey for defamation, which forced Oprah to settle out of court, which I'm sure cost her a huge sum. But if that weren't bad enough, you actually have Oprah mixed up, of course, with the whole Harvey Weinstein scandal. At the height of the whole #MeToo movement, of which Oprah anointed herself as a major champion and advocate, critics started to push back against her by revealing this bizarre relationship she had with Weinstein. Now, we have to understand that according to multiple reports, everyone who was anyone in Hollywood knew about Harvey Weinstein and what he was doing to women. Everyone knew, and yet it was tolerated. And one of the major personalities that tolerated Weinstein appears to have been Oprah Winfrey. And this is becoming increasingly acknowledged by other celebrities. For example, the rap star Snoop Dogg slammed Oprah in a scathing Instagram post for widely circulating photos of her smiling and laughing with Weinstein years before his now infamous sexual assaults were made public. A number of outlets like Variety magazine have reported on celebrities testifying that they knew that Oprah knew about Weinstein's predatory behavior towards young women, and yet she, in effect, covered it up. Moreover, you had one of Bill Clinton's alleged sexual abuse victims, Juanita Broaddrick, coming out and accuse Oprah of blatant hypocrisy, since Oprah did everything she possibly could, not only to rehabilitate Bill's image on her television show, but Oprah, of course, went on to endorse Hillary Clinton in 2016. And this, of course, all climaxed with the Brazilian spiritual guru that Oprah interviewed and promoted back in 2013. He's since been accused of sexual abuse by 10 women. All of this underscores the importance of this film. The collaboration between Mel Gibson, Elon Musk, and others in supporting Sound of Freedom serves as a rallying call to fight against this abhorrent crime, to break the chains of exploitation and bring about a safer and more just world for all. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.